Hello, my friends. I am Padala Ismayova, a top expert of our company, supervisor for Kyrgyzstan. I have been a co-owner of the string transport technology since 2014. I am 50 now and I was looking for an investment option. In fact, speaking about myself, I have been engaged in the MLM industry since 2002, but in 2014, after 12 years of being in the network business, I did an analysis of my situation and just asked myself a question. When will I get to the financial freedom that I've read about and trained in? I've taken a lot of training sessions, attended courses of Selsin Bukova and Sedmarat Davletova, and read a lot of books. My network business experience made me realize that there was a passive income, but in the MLM industry, I did not manage to have such income. I just thought then, this makes 12 years in MLM, what if it takes another 12 years? I just didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. So, a quarter of a century and still you walk around having the same thoughts. Yes, there is some money, but it's not enough for this or that. And it was then that I realized that maybe I was leaving something undone. And after my own analysis, I knew then and there that I did not make any investment. What company are you currently investing in? And I started looking for an investment option. Then I began asking my acquaintances for their advice. But no one could tell me anything about it or give me advice. Because one can definitely say that in Kyrgyzstan we had investments of about 0.001%. By the law of attraction, once I was just chatting with my classmate on Skype, and she asked me what I did for a living. We hadn't seen each other for 30 years. I said that I was dealing with bioadditives, cosmetic products in the MLM industry. Then she just sent me a link and said, "Read it, watch, you'll figure it out." When I followed the link, it was October 2014. And there was a test. Do you want to move fast? Do you want to move safely, eco-friendly, transport, future, investments, company stakes? It had an appeal to me. The thing with the company stake. On November 11th, 2014, I made my first contribution. Besides, my friend, it turns out, rarely uses Skype. I had a lot of questions but had to look for the answers on my own. And I started to search into the matter. It turned out that Anatoly Yunitsky, a great scientist, an honorary member of the USSR astronautics, was at the center of it all. He had 200 scientific papers. 150 inventions. I liked it very much. I had faith in this man, in his technology. I saw the future. I liked the idea that these vehicles were something from the world of fantasy. However, it was an investment, and in the depths of my soul, I realized that it would come to us anyway. This would actually happen. Then, in 2015, in my personal account, I read news that everyone who was interested was invited to Moscow to come and attend the first conference. And in October 2015, I went to Moscow. I had no money at the time. I got a loan and went to Moscow to see the scientist, learn more about his technology. And today, I believe that it was then that I made the right decision. So, today I'm a co-owner of String Transport Technology. Since I have been in the MLM business for many years, I know that this is sales. If you engage in MLM and contribute money to a product, you should use it. Be the result of your product and only sell the results. It is by selling your results that you build a team. Here it turns out that you have already used your money, as they say. There is no money. Why do many of us feel disappointed with MLM now? There is no money. Building a team is rather challenging. You need to study a lot. especially today when you can surprise no one with bioadditives, cosmetics. There is a lot of similar stuff. The market is packed with all sorts of products. Out of 10 people, the best scenario is that only 2 people would manage to build a team. So, again, there is no money without a team. Thus, now everyone is already scared of the MLM business, right? And what do I see today while I take part in financing SWC? Today we benefit from contributing money. For example, in 2015 I bought a package of 600,000 stakes for $1,000. The law of saving and increasing money is the key factor. I saved my money, and it grows along with technology. Save, preserve, and grow, this is what all books say. Therefore, it means that the money I contributed in 2015 is growing now. And by telling networkers today that I work in the wealth market, I sell wealth. Not in the health and beauty market, but in the wealth market, because stakes are an asset. That will bring us income in the future. Our family, our children, even great-grandchildren. And today, according to statistics, if you tell 10 people about this technology, properly convey it to them, out of 10 people 8 people become co-owners. And at the same time, I'm building my team. These are the abilities that I developed while being in the MLM business. Invite, share information. Using these skills, as of today, I have built a large structure in my country and beyond, because this business can be done both online and offline. And what is good here is that, compared to MLM, where I had many moments when I invited my friends or acquaintances who didn't know how to sell, how to invite, and finally got disappointed, here I have the entire structure. I can do it. I can say that this is a growing army of millionaires who in the future, when the technology takes off, will each receive profit according to the number of stakes they have. They will earn their income, namely, a passive income. Today, our almost entire structure duplicates this information. We have good progress in building a network. There are elements of network marketing here. Why? Because in order to attract funding, for example, many networkers are very good at inviting people. And here such skills can be put to good use. By inviting, we increase the number of co-owners. And 38% goes to the marketing plan, while 62% goes to technology development. So, we become a co-owner of the technology. For example, based on my MLM experience, I know what companies are, as a networker. I can simply evaluate this and compare. It's just a very simple mechanism. Like network human slavery. There are companies that simply zombify for training. I would even call it intellectual slavery. There, people are constantly attached to a certain company and think that there is no better opportunity. But it turns out that one man's ceiling is another man's floor. Many networkers, when they come to SWC, see that it is easy to breathe and work here. You just don't need to invite people with these networks, or waste time on these products. It is the fact that the market is already packed. I say that today no magical bioadditives can surprise anyone. I tell all networkers that we need to save the environment. And no matter what magical bioadditives you drink, if our environment is already deteriorating, then nothing will save us. Today we are doing God's work. Although, many people, for example, when we share information, say that this is a pyramid. I tell them it's not, it is a technology. A pyramid is when you contribute money in something you don't quite understand. You bring your money, then they bring it to you and you get money. This is a pyramid, and today we are funding technology. Technology is developing. And then, these roads will be constructed all over the world. Our technologies will develop and bring us profit. In other words, this is production, this is technology. This is innovation. This is the difference that needs to be highlighted. Our company holds some very interesting promotion events. For example, in 2021, during Expo 2020 Dubai, there were 18 of us from Kyrgyzstan who won the gold and went to Sharjah. For the first time I visited the Ecotechnopark located in Belarus in 2016. It was the first Eco-Fest. Then, for the first time I saw these racks being built, the first anchor supports being constructed. All this made me confident that construction is really going on. And I think that every person who comes to SWC should attend such events that the company holds. This inspires confidence. Today I can prove to any person that it will be. As I wake up in the morning, I read the information. Before falling asleep in the evening, I look through the latest news. Since 2014, I have been living with technology nearly every day, and I really enjoy doing it. Well, of course, I know networkers who can work for a company for 10 to 15 years and yet earn nothing, because all the money there goes only to the product. They use it, but receive no money. Money comes only from networks, but now there are a lot of network companies, so people do not even know which companies they work for. And it happens that they work for 5 or 6 companies, they just throw their money away. Yes, simply waste it. I have my own loads of experience. I invited my acquaintances, friends, relatives to MLM, but they didn't know how to sell, and then they failed. They used the product, received no money, and got nothing as a result. And here is the disappointment, because any network company, generally, tells us that we need to engage in the MLM business and one day we will come to financial freedom. I would like to tell a few words about Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant. I was at his lecture in 2016 when he once visited Kyrgyzstan. He divides people into 4 categories. Based on their earnings, Sector 1 is the slave of the owner minus these are the people who work for the state, say, or for someone, live their life from paycheck to paycheck. The slave of business minus those who, for example, have their own small business, a pharmacy or a cafe, or some kind of trading outlet. Yes, it's your own business. Basically, these people work on credit. Free business minus those who own, say, a gas station or a large mall. Those who have put a lot of money into business, they have people working for hire and promoting their business. And a co-owner. I have always wanted to be in this sector. I was looking for this opportunity to become a co-owner. Today, I would like to show you the difference, having my own experience in the MLM business. As they say, today I can compare MLM and our multi-level social financial ecosystem. It's called the SWC community. For example, now we have about 100 network companies in Kyrgyzstan, yes, 100 network companies. Any person who comes to an MLM company first contributes money, receives a product for money. What should one do with the product? Use it, get results from the product. In other words, the products are used, there is no money, and money comes to the MLM industry only after a network has been built. You sell the result of your product. Build a network and you get a bonus from the turnover of the team you built. However, according to statistics, the best scenario here is that out of 10 people, only 2 people start building a team. Therefore, I would say that there is no money in the MLM industry either. That is why many people are now disappointed. When you come to SWC, you contribute money. You receive the company stakes. In 2015, I contributed $1,000 to buy 600,000 stakes. Today, $1,000 can buy 30,000 stakes, which means that my money has grown. And soon I will start to receive, let's say, dividends. I will receive dividends. I have contributed my money where it is saved and increased. In other words, the law of saving and increasing money works here. Since I have been in the MLM business for many years, I can invite people, tell people, offer, yes, using my skills that I developed in MLM. Now, I am building a team here as well. I sell the company stakes. Today, according to statistics, out of 10 people you invite, 8 people buy. Fund the technology, because today it is important for people to save and increase their money. Now everyone is looking for such an opportunity. That is, here, according to my marketing plan, 38% goes to compensation for an affiliate program, 62% goes to technology development. And it turns out that more people come here because nowadays you won't surprise anyone on the health market with bioadditives. This is a lot, and today I'm selling the company stakes, I'm selling wealth. Why are many people not making money in the MLM business? Because here success comes only to the top. It turns out that this is because any network company has its own production or plant. And here are the founders of the company. When you enter into a contract with a company, you are either inside or outside the plant. Each distributor is outside the plant. Let's say he has appeared, signed a contract, built a team and receives bonuses from the structure. This one appeared, let's say, to build such a team, receives bonuses from his structure. That one receives bonuses from this team, each from the turnover of their structure. Right. And here, the founder receives bonuses from the turnover around the world. While with SWC, today we are building technology, we are financing technology. In 2014, I came here and signed a contract. Inside the technology, I became a co-owner, built a team. Inside. That is, everyone who came after me, let's say, now I have almost 9,000 people in my structure. They are all inside, and when our technology enters the world market, we will receive 20% of the company's income. We've become co-owners, that is, in any network company they tell us that we are here, but it turns out that all networkers are here, the company itself is here. The owner of the company, and we are the sellers of his technology, his product, the slaves of his business. And here we are just in Sector 4 with SWC. As I say, today we are building such transport, the future is an alternative. And this technology is like, for example, cellular communications that came and changed the whole world. Or like the internet, today no one can do without the internet. This is exactly how our transport will come. Just like the internet has affected all spheres and industries, everything will be tied to it and we, as they say, stand at the origins of this technology. We buy a stake of this technology, and money will be saved. Saving and increasing are the key factor today. We stand on the verge, the economy is changing, we are already making our transit to digital economy, that is, a new era begins. Everything will be centralized, automated and robotized, and today we are funding the development of robots. Our transport includes robots, drones that will be engaged in cargo and passenger transportation. We are co-owners, and we will gain return on our contributions.